Lie down somewhere, get comfortable and close your eyes. Pause this video until you're ready. You feel cold all over your body, but you don't yet have the capacity to think about it. All you do is feel it. The numbness in the tips of your fingers, the sensation down your spine that makes you want to shiver but you don't. Your nose cold but dry. You slowly start to feel sand particles hitting the side of your left arm and leg, and the vibrations through your clothes. You breathe in the hot wind. It warms you from the inside and makes you notice the tiny hairs blowing against your forehead. The light makes you clench your eyes as hard as you can while you sit up and cover them. Hunched over, you open your eyes to your clothes lightly covered with red sand. Looking up and around, you see many sand dunes. They're small and close together. You look back down at the sand and place your hands in. It's so warm. You feel how fine the grains are as you push your hand forward and embed some into your fingernails. You're surprisingly unbothered by it. You soak up most of the warmth and move your hands forward again, this time feeling some larger bits. Pulling them up, you see that they're rocks and pieces of broken stick. There's plant life around here. You were too focused on the warmth before and now realize just how dehydrated you are. Your mouth is so dry you can feel the texture of your tongue against the roof of your mouth. You decide to climb the top of the sand dune to look around. You rock yourself forwards, hands and knees in the sand, and flip your bare feet underneath you. You don't even try standing because you can feel the lack of energy you have when gravity pulls down on your neck and waist. You crawl through the hot sand towards the beginning of the slope, and it takes everything out of you. Flipping onto your back again, your hand feels the edge of a stick and you wiggle it out of the sand. It's white with brown spots and patches. You lie against the hill, not caring about the sand in your hair. Resting feels so good. You take in a slow deep breath and let it out all at once, hearing only yourself and the wind. You hear the breath again and are conscious enough to realize it wasn't your own. Turning your head to the left, you watch as lines of sand fall silently down the dune in time with the footsteps. Large black paws enter your field of vision, getting engulfed with red after each step. Your focus gets fuzzy and you zone out, wondering where you are, what is happening. You snap out of your confusion when you notice its direct eye contact. Its head is twice the size of yours, pale golden eyes looking right into yours. Its pupils widen slowly, even in this bright light, making you feel less afraid. It looks down at your body. You feel its wet nose and whiskers against your leg as it smells you. The sun seemed to bounce on its fur enough for you to notice it wasn't all black. It was slightly brown with some faint leopard-like patterns around its back. It looks back up at you, skimming your skin on its way. It walks up and around to your shoulder and opens its mouth around your arm. You pull away, putting your arm up as far as you have the energy for. It follows and softly grabs onto you again and waits. You thought maybe it wasn't being violent. You stay still, looking up at its face and feeling its hot, gross breath. After a short while, it starts pulling you up the sand dune. Its teeth were a bit painful, but they weren't breaking your skin. You feel the sand piling up underneath you as it drags you. You watch the trail you left slowly dissolve with the wind. Looking down at where you were lying turned into looking up at the cloudless sky as the jaguar takes you over the top of the dune and starts to make its way down the other side. You see the dint you made at the top before closing your eyes tightly to make sure no sand gets in them. You don't understand how its grip isn't making you bleed. You reach the other side and it continues to drag you. The further you go, the less soft the sand becomes. It's riddled with sticks, crunched up leaves, and small rocks. Your face goes cold in the air, and then your arms, and then your legs and feet. You open your eyes thinking that the jaguar was over the top of you, but no, you're in the shade of plants. Bushes of some kind, pale green with small thin leaves, thick enough to block out majority of the sunlight. As you go further in, you see white tree trunks all through the bushes, creating more shade from above. You watch as a few leaves fall and land around you. About 10 meters later, the jaguar drops your arm and your head lands into something softer than expected. It's damp. You're a bit concerned at the sound of some of the trees creaking with the wind, but then you turn your head around and up to see a pond of water. A rushed breath of excitement fills your chest as you flip over onto your stomach and use your arms to push you closer. One of your hands is flat on the ground to keep your head up while you shove cups of water into your face with the other. The sand, brown bits of leaves, and moss-covered sticks lie at the bottom of the water undisturbed. You drink so much your stomach hurts, so you stop, placing the right side of your face into the leaves under you and placing your hands out in the water. You feel your cheek get colder and a stick just below your ear. It's comfortable though. You don't know where the jaguar went, but it doesn't matter as you fall to sleep out of exhaustion. You wake up to sharp pincers on the back of your legs and heels. You jolt around and back up to the side of the pond. 4 jaguar pups pounce around in amusement. Their heads are about the size of one of your hands stretched out flat. They all have the same pigmentation as the adult one. As you stand up, they all realize they aren't so amused anymore, and they back away with caution. They hide in the bushes but are still clearly visible. You feel your stomach move upwards into hunger and notice that your body is clearly able to move again. While looking at the cubs looking back at you, you decide to go look for something to eat. You turn around and start walking. Through all the foliage, you see some yellow things in a tree. They certainly aren't bananas as they're kind of round. You push your way through sturdy plants that are soft enough not to scrape your arms. Your feet feel lumps of roots within the sand. You make your way over to this tree with the fruit. It's not that tall. You shake it and they fall right off. You pick one up out of the sand. The outsides are a bit rough and light brown in some areas, but it seems okay. You look around for a stick to open it with. There's a couple, but they're too thin and would break. You walk around the tree and spot a suitable one. You pick it up and hit it on the trunk to get the sand off it. You go back around to where the other fruit fell and sit down. You use the stick to stab into it and wedge it in half. It's orange inside with lots of black seeds. You raise it and feel the juice running down your hands as you put it up to your face to take a bite. It's soft like a mango, but the flavor is less sweet. Once you're finished leaving it almost perfectly scraped empty, you stand up without using your hands. You pick up the other one and the stick and walk back to the pond where the cubs are. Coming around the branches, you see two of the cubs play fighting, one just sitting there watching, but you can't see the fourth cub or the mother anywhere. You decide you want to sit down with them as close as you can. You slowly walk towards them, and they react to you, so you stop and sit, knowing that that's where your limit is. They all look at you with grey-blue eyes. Their little ears flap each time an insect lands on their fur. You hear sand moving, which makes you look out through the leaves at the empty parts of the desert. There's the mother and what seems to be her bringing the fourth cub from over the dune. You don't know how, but you sense that she does this often, and it gets you thinking about how she did the same for you.